Ever wondered why statistics matter in our daily lives? Well, it's all about understanding the world around us, making sense of the data we encounter every day. Let's crunch numbers together. Subscribe and join our community of data crunchers. One way we do this is through the concept of central tendency, a term that might sound complex, yet it's as simple as finding the center of a data set. Central tendency is a critical tool not just for statisticians, but for anyone dealing with data. Whether you're a business person assessing sales trends, an economist analyzing economic growth, or a psychologist interpreting behavioral patterns, central tendency is your go-to tool. Now, there are three key measures of central tendency that help us make sense of data: the mean, the median, and the mode. Each of these measures provides a different perspective on our data, allowing us to draw meaningful conclusions. Let's start with the mean. Ever heard of the term average? Well, that's essentially what the mean is. Yes, you heard it right. When we talk about the mean, we're really talking about what many of us know as the average. But what does it mean to calculate the mean? Well, the mean is a measure of central tendency that provides us with a central or typical value for a data set. It's like the heart of the data set, pumping out a value that can represent the whole. But how do we get to this heart, you ask? How do we calculate the mean? It's pretty straightforward, actually. To find the mean of a set of numbers, we take the sum of all the values, and then divide it by the number of values. It's a simple two-step process. Add, then divide. Let's put this into perspective with an example. Imagine you have 5 apples, I have 7 apples, and our friend has 9 apples. How many apples do we have on average? To find out, we first add up all the apples. 5 plus 7 plus 9 equals 21 apples in total. We then divide this total by the number of people, which in this case is 3. So 21 divided by 3 equals 7. Therefore, we each have an average, or mean, of 7 apples. Simple, isn't it? But remember, while the mean gives us a central value, it doesn't always reflect every individual value in the data set. For instance, none of us actually had 7 apples to start with. This is why we also look at other measures of central tendency like the median and the mode, which we'll explore in the upcoming scenes. So that's how you calculate the mean. It's a simple yet powerful tool in understanding data. Onto the median. Imagine you're standing in a line and you're exactly in the middle. That position is what we call the median in statistics. Now let's dive into the concept of the median and its calculation process. In essence, the median is the middle value in a data set. It's the point where half of the values are above it and half are below. It's like a balancing point, if you will. The median gives us a clear picture of the central tendency of a data set without being skewed by extremely high or low values. So how do we calculate the median? The first step is to arrange the data in ascending order. That means from the smallest value to the largest. Once we've done that, we can find the middle value. If you have an odd number of data points, the process is straightforward. The median is simply the number that falls exactly in the middle. But what if you have an even number of data points? In that case, the median is calculated by taking the average of the two middle numbers. That's right, you just add them up and divide by 2. Let's imagine a real-life example. Suppose we have the following data set: 2, 5, 7, 9, and 12. This data set has 5 values, which is an odd number, so the median is the number in the middle, which in this case is 7. Now let's consider a data set with an even number of values: 3, 4, 8, and 10. Here we have 4 values, so the median is the average of the two middle numbers 4 and 8. Add these together to get 12, then divide by 2, and voila! Our median is 6, and there you have it. That's how you calculate the median. But what about the mode? Let's find out. Do you have a favorite outfit that you wear more often than others? In statistics, we call that your mode. Just like that favorite outfit you tend to gravitate towards, the mode in statistics is all about frequency. It represents the value that appears most frequently in a data set. It's like that popular kid in school who always seems to be the center of attention, the one everyone knows and talks about. That's the mode for you, the star of the data set. Now here's where it gets interesting. A data set can have no mode, one mode, or even multiple modes. When there's no particular value that stands out, when there's no popular kid, we say that the data set has no mode. It's like a school where everyone's equally popular or equally obscure, depending on your perspective. On the other hand, when one value appears more frequently than any other, that's when we have a single mode. But what if there are 2 or even 3 popular kids, all equally popular? Well, that's when we have a bimodal or trimodal data set. Now let's see how we determine the mode. Imagine a data set, let's say, the number of apples sold in a fruit shop over 10 days. 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 5. The number that appears the most is 5, showing up 4 times. So in this case, the mode is 5. But what if the shop sold 3 apples on 4 days, 4 apples on 3 days, and 5 apples on 4 days? Here we don't have one mode, but 2. The data set is bimodal, with modes at 3 and 5. It's important to note that the mode is not always the most representative value. Before you go, hit that subscribe button. Help us prove that there's power in numbers.